Hello, folks, and welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Lunch. My name is Galina Rin. Today I am streaming from inside the library. This, you can see behind me, is the start of our new live streaming studio. I painted these walls myself. Oh yeah, they're so nice. I've never painted anything in my life. Well, obviously I've painted miniatures. Who hasn't? But I've never done any DIY, and I feel very proud of my green walls. This green is just a temperature green to make a calming zone, and this is a green screen wall. Green screen wall. Amazing. Amazing. So we'll be putting in all the fixtures and fittings today, and we will be hireable from next Monday. So if you've got a Zoom meeting that you need to do, instead of having to hire one of our big rooms, I now have desks which will be set up here, where you can come and you can have your Zoom meeting away from your kids, your family, your dog. And we have good old internet access here. We're going to have two lines. One will be dedicated to live streaming completely, and if one goes down, we just A/B box it over to the other. Amazing. Cannot wait. In the meantime, we have a guest for you. I have put her down as a West End singer on my notes, and I'm afraid that's not right. But we get it wrong sometimes. I'll change it after the fact. It's Jacqui Campbell. Tell the world who you are and what you do.
Hello, my name is Jacqui Campbell. Up until March this year, I worked front of house at the Victoria Palace at Hamilton. I also, once I've been there, I ended up doing cover fire officer, which was amazing, and cover stage door. And I had the best job in the world. And then COVID came, and that was that.
That was that. So I think so let's start with the Daniel thing, because Daniel has put so many people our way this last couple of weeks, but he's chosen you specifically because of a story that you share about how you guys reconnected. Is that correct?
This is true. It's a lovely little story. I used to work on the railway. I did 23 years, most of them at Plumstead. And Daniel used to live locally and used to come through, and we got friendly, we got chatting, we became very good friends. And I used to travel with my youngest daughter all over the country to see him in different things, because he's a very talented man. And then he moved and we lost contact, and we hadn't seen each other for a few years. I got made redundant from the railway. I didn't cry very much. I was ready to go, ready to move on. A few months later, my friend Martin Hutchinson, who is stage manager normally, but he does a lot of other things, he contacted me. Well, I went to see him. He was stage manager on tour of the play that goes wrong. I went to visit him in Plymouth, and he said, I've been offered a job as a venue manager there. Would you come and work for me? And I said, yes, of course. So then he rang me. He said, can you start Monday? Stage doorkeeper. So it was at the Marble Arch Theatre, which was a pop-up venue. I don't know if any of you got to see it. The massive big Spiegel tent on the roundabout at Marble Arch. Not the healthiest place to work with all the traffic.
Literally.
But it was a great venue.
Yeah, the most polluted road in London goes right on to there.
Yeah, but we had a great time. There was a gentleman there called Ed, who was one of our lead. He was the lead in the Five Guys Named Mo. And we got chatting. He was a lovely man, very talented. And on our big press night, he said, my partner will be in tonight. He said, he'll come to the stage door. So I said, fine. So it was a very hectic night. It was a fun night. Lots of stars in to see the show. And we was having a great time. And then I heard this voice and this gentleman saying, oh, I'm here to see Ed. And I turned around. It was Daniel. Daniel? And he looked at me and went, oh, my God, Jacqui. And that was it. So there's us both sobbing, in tears, hugging, and it was just lovely. And then they'd come around and went, "What are you doing?" And Daniel was going, "This is my Jacqui." And he's going, "No, our Jacqui, she works here now." And that was it. So we got in contact. It was wonderful. It was just so lovely to see him again. And then he was doing Panto that year at Basildon. So I took my grandchildren to see him, and we've been to see him again in several other things since. And we've kept in touch. So it's just wonderful.
Would you consider yourself to be a Daniel Stockton groupie? That is the big question.
Oh, I think the whole family is now. Both my daughters adore him. I mean, we went to see him because Ed said to me not long before Five Guys finished. Ed said, "Oh, Daniel's doing Guys and Dolls at Kilworth House." I said, "Oh, we're going to see him." So he said, "Yeah, it's just outside London." I don't know if any of your viewers know how far Kilworth House is from London. It's sort of Coventry.
Oh, that's far.
So I booked the tickets for us to go on the Sunday before I actually looked at where it was. And my eldest daughter drove us, and she looked it up a couple of weeks before. She said, "You do know where this is?" No, haven't a clue. But it was worth it. It was an absolutely beautiful day. It's an outside venue, big hotel there where you have a beautiful lunch. Then we saw Daniel afterwards, obviously, for a little chat. And then we come home. It was a lovely day.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to hear that. So we're talking about working in the theatre, and we've had agents. We on this program we've had agents, we've had performers, we've had directors, theatre directors, the whole heap. And I think what most people who don't work in theatre and don't work in music and stuff like that don't appreciate is that when theatres are closed, it's not just performers that don't have are left out in the cold, so to speak. It's also all the front of house staff, and that could be like electricians and chippies and hairdressers and all the rest. So do you want to tell us your experience being the front of house for theatre over this period?
I mean, I knew it was coming. I knew that I was gonna be out of the job. It was quite obvious. I mean, I expected it end of March, and then the furlough scheme came in.
Yeah.
And that was that. But it still broke my heart when I got my P45 and my last paycheck. But I think because for me, it was a job I'd always wanted to do. I'd wanted to do for a long time, work in a theatre. And to finally have that chance and then have it taken away. So like that, just 1 minute you're working, gone. It was hard, yeah. I mean, the job, if you've worked with the public before, which I've obviously 20 years on the railway, I know what to expect. Front of house can be a demanding job. Although the people think, "Oh, you're just an usher."
Yeah.
No, it's not that simple. I've had some beautiful experiences. I've met some wonderful people front of house, people from all over the world. Some very famous people we had come in. But it was just such a lovely job. I loved the people I worked with. I was very lucky with we just used to laugh a lot. And there's not many jobs you can say you go to work and you enjoy it. And then I got to be fire officer, which meant it's quite a responsible job, keeping the whole building, making sure everything's where it should be and that everybody else is where they should be and there's not doors open that shouldn't be. So I got to know the building very well. I used to come out of Victoria Station and I look up and I'd look at the roof and I think, I'm going up there in a minute to check that over. So that would be fun.
Did you see any ghosts? Because that's the thing about London theatres, isn't there?
Well, I didn't actually see one, but when you were standing at one part every evening, if you were standing at one particular door, it always felt like someone walked past you. Okay. And you'd look round and there'd be no one there. And you'd mention it to somebody else and they'd go, "No, I've never felt that." And then you'd mention it, "Oh, yes." So a couple of us had felt if we was on this particular position,
oh wow,
at a certain time of the night time, you felt somebody walk past you.
Oh. Oh, weird. And is
Yeah.
that during a show day? Oh, I guess that's the only time
Yeah,
you're there.
one show was on. Yeah, but it was always at the same time. So,
Yeah.
um, one of the techies, I won't mention his name, but he said, it's all to do with the aircon.
Well,
There's no aircon at that point. So, yeah, he was definitely not a believer. Definitely not.
yeah. But you must get to know the theaters inside and out if you have to walk them every day.
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
your theater in good repair? Because that's, I mean, let me just turn
Well,
my
it
camera
had,
onto me. Yeah.
it was yeah, we'd had a multi-million refurb.
Hmm.
So, when Hamilton came in, it was all the seating and that had been redone, and it was, I mean, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful building anyway, but inside it was lovely. Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. All new facilities, so yeah, it was really nice. Yeah,
And imagine like the theater family just is everyone that works there, right? Everyone feels like they're becomes part of their theater family. You know, the actors always talk about this, but I guess the front of house are the same, are they?
yeah, yes, yeah, definitely. And um, a lot of the cast, especially at Hamilton, they were so friendly. I mean, you just got to know everybody. You got to know all the backstage. I suppose because I got to do both jobs. I got to be backstage, and I covered the stage door a couple of times. Um, I I just did get to know everybody, and I'm quite pushy. If somebody's not going to say hello to me after a couple of times, I will, oh, hello, and then after a little while, they have to say hello to me.
Yeah, well, you just got to get in there. You just got to get in
We
there.
have,
Just
yeah,
don't worry about them. Just go for it.
yeah.
So how long did the theater keep you on for? Well, on the furlough thing.
We finished at the end of August.
Mm.
So I think there is some people, I think it depended how long you'd worked there. I just qualified for 2 years. I think my 2 year anniversary was the day Hamilton went on Disney. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that was all to do with my 2 year anniversary. But
Of course.
of course, yeah. So yeah, I'd done my 2 years. So I finished at the end of August, last day of August. But I believe there are still some people. I mean, they have to have people in and out of the buildings. But it's the six. I mean, I work for the MTs. It's 6 theatres, so somebody's got to be maintaining them. You can't just walk away and leave a building.
Yeah, I think I heard that the National had put the techs back in to start pat testing and just general upkeep of their stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Like that.
I should imagine that he's done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to tell us how you're feeling about this whole situation? I mean, what are you going to do now, basically? If that's not too personal a
Um,
question.
when they first talked about redundancy, um, we asked if they would keep a list of people, and they said no. It would you be once they started employing people again, you'd have to go through a whole new. But they changed that. So when you left, when we got our redundancy, you could ask to have your name left on the books, so that if they are going to, when, not if, when they reopen, you could leave your name there and hopefully get re-employed. So
Yeah, I have a friend. I don't know what theater he's in, but he cleans stages in West End, and he was told on the way out that they wouldn't keep his name either, so they'd have to reapply for his job, and whether his job would actually even exist at that point,
no,
because they may not have a person to do that. It might be part of
no.
somebody else's job by that point as well. But I feel like they'll probably need front of house staff. They'll definitely need front of house staff, and either I guess you must be on a 0 hours contract now, or
No, he was contracted for I think it was 30 hours.
no, I mean like now.
Well, now I'm
Uh,
not on any
You're not on
contract.
anything here, so okay, good.
No, I've been applying for real jobs.
Real jobs. Well, see, you're
I
taking
know.
the government's thing of retraining. There you go. You weren't even in artistic stuff, and you're not
Yeah.
retraining.
No, I've put in for a couple of jobs. Well, my daughter does it for me because like she's clever. She looks on the computer to see what's going on. And she was the one that applied for Hamilton for me as well. So I've got her to blame. But yeah, so yeah, I've looked around. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as soon as I could go back, I would. They're talking about this Christmas run of the Les Mis concert.
Yeah.
So hopefully, but I mean, that's not my theatre, although it's owned by the same company. So hopefully, if they don't get as many people from the guild, from that theatre that want to go back, hopefully they'll pull it out to the rest of us. We'll be able to even just have 6 weeks work over the holidays. That'd be good.
That'd be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the fire officers of the other venues have moved on. And you're skilled. You're skilled. I mean, I've been a fire officer in the civil service because, when you work for the civil service, as you'll know, because you used to work for the trains, you've got to fill your days with some kind of joy. And doing any of the health and safety stuff really does add to your enjoyment of your day. It gives you something you can be in charge of that the other folks, the managers, don't want to get involved with, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll all go on to different. Maybe they'll retrain as ballerinas, and then you'll be the only one left to service 6 venues. I mean, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, that'd be. I know a couple of the people that I work with. I mean, they're mostly young people. I mean, when I went for my interview for Hamilton, I got there and I looked around the room and there was like about 12 of us, and they were all sort of 18 to 22. And I thought, I'm not going to get this. I've got absolutely no chance of getting this. But so we did like a couple of role plays. So I was right over the top. I thought, I'm never going to see anybody in this room again. So I'm just going to go for it. And I was very surprised when I got the phone call to say that they'd offered me a job. So.
Yeah, there's again, I can only really draw on my experience of working for the civil service, and that's there's just some jobs that suit older folks better, because I managed admin departments essentially for the court service, and getting young. Well, I mean, I just wouldn't do it. I would get bored and walk around and play on my phone too much. Whereas if you got an older person who had come, we got a lady who came from the BBC, who was made redundant from the BBC, and she's best suited for that job, best person suited for that particular job of looking after magistrates and judges all day long, and she loves it. And I couldn't see her in any other job now as well. So, I don't think it's right that everyone immediately writes off themselves more than anything else, because especially in front of house stuff where you need life experience and maybe a little bit of a mumsy attitude towards things. You're not going to get that from the kids. From the kids.
Yeah, I mean, if we've had like people vomit and things like that all over you. I mean, to me, it was just I'd get on with it and clean it up. But some of them, no, they didn't want to do that.
We used to say that you either have the chip or you don't. You're either the person who'll be running around after hours putting buckets under the leaky roof, or you'll be the one who won't pick up a mop and just go home.
Exactly. This is true. I think it's true in any job. Yeah. Yeah. True in life.
It's true in life. It is true in life. Pick up a mop. That's what I'm saying. So loads of people are retraining. Obviously, they were doing it before the government suggested it. Not everyone's retraining. So if somebody wanted to work, I guess in a public-facing role, because possibly box office and stuff's not going to be there for a wee while yet. If they were going to go into public role and you've had loads of experience, what would be your biggest tip to someone who has not worked with the public before and is going into a public-facing role? What would be your biggest tip for them?
Keep calm. Let it all go over your head. It's very easy for people to say, oh, don't take it personally, they're not having a go at you. But that's not easy when somebody's giving you the I said and you said, and that's not easy. But just keep calm. I think that's the easiest. That's my biggest tip. Just take everything at your own pace and keep calm. Don't let people push you, rush you into things, because sometimes you end up saying things you don't really mean. But just keep calm and think what you're gonna do next. That's the best way. Yeah.
I think again that is good wisdom for life right there. I think you've done a cracker. You can track your. So, Jackie, we're running out of time, but thank you so much. That is really
Oh my
nice to
gosh,
have a
that
chat
went
with
so
you.
quick.
I know, 20 minutes. There you go, easy peasy, no problem at all. Thank you so much for joining us. That's so cute.
Thank you very much. Had a lovely time.
I'm just going to run through our little notifications that we generally have at the end of this show. You know them all by now, but I'm just going to fire them in here anyway. If I can even find them myself. When Eleanor's not here, everything goes a wee bit over the top for me because I have to press all the buttons. I have so much to do. Anyway, if you would like to be on this show, Jackie's laughing at me now. Look at us. How disorganized she is. If you'd like to be on the show, you can email me at galina.rin@unlt.org. I'm putting it in the comments now. It's also in the description. We will happily listen. Come on over and just have a chat with us. You can be generally it's local folks from Southeast London, Crystal Palace area, but you know we're open to anything. If you're a business, if you're a charity, or maybe you just want to come on and talk about what's going on in Crystal Palace, that's fine too. I might open up a free form Friday where people can just come on here and talk about, I don't know, helicopters, no, the traffic problems, any of that. And then maybe we could record that and send it to a counsellor. I don't know. It would be a free form Friday. It'd be up to you. If you want to do that kind of thing, just email me and we can sort it out for you. We have all sorts of things going on over at the Upper Norwood Library Hub.org website, including our Halloween show, which is the 31st of October, which is a Daniel Stockton production, as you know.
Yay!
And will be a green screen affair with lots of West End singers, lots of spooky stuff going on. I can't remember all the songs that are going to be on it, but it's on the website. And also the Halloween theatre week is still available, but your school would have to have take 2 weeks off for Halloween. I don't have kids. I don't really understand what that means. But if your kid does not have anything to do in the first week of a 2-week Halloween break, then we still have 6 places on a Halloween theatre week with Daniel Stockton. Hey, that guy basically runs this place now. We like to think there was a manager, but really it's just Daniel propping the whole place up. That's not true. They are Chris, Emily, and Margaret work very hard as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I can't read any more of my notes because I've got my screen full of screens. I'm looking at like 4 versions of me, and none of them are that pretty. So I'm just going to go. Eleanor is with us tomorrow. We will have this live stream studio set up by tomorrow, so we won't be looking like we're in a building site quite so much, and really looking forward to that. So again, we're building a live stream studio here at the library. If you need a Zoom room, a quiet Zoom room, good internet, and just get away from your house to do anything that is live stream online, we have a green screen wall. We're going to have desks here that folks can use. We're also putting in a bit of a recording studio, filming studio, if you want to film stuff for YouTube, all of that good stuff. It's all going to be here to play for. Okay, and I will see you all tomorrow around 12 o'clock, please. All right, cool. See you all later. Bye-bye. Thank you, Jackie, for joining me. That's so nice of
Thank
you.
you so much. It went so quick. I was terrified.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. All righty. See you everybody
Bye.
later.